You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
I'm Smiley the dog. I am a mutt. I'm Smiley the dog. I'm super smiley. I have a cat, 2 sweets, the travel kitty. I'm a good girlfriend. Angel's really pretty. I have a pony. We share a big horse. We have a big yard. Yeah, we have to, of course. I have a pool. In the summer, I stay cool. To a fountain, live in the mountain, live high on the hog. Need to be a spokesdog. I'm Smiley the dog. I am a mutt. I'm Smiley the dog. I'm super smiley.
Woof and super smiles. Welcome to a Super Smiley Adventure on Pet Life Radio, the largest pet radio network in the world. I'm Megan Blake, the pet lifestyle coach, here with my possum sidekick, Super Smiley, who was the national spokesdog for the Hero Dog Awards for the last 2 years, and now is rocking his role as the ambassador of kindness for the Animal Film Festival, which is coming up in January. Go Super Smiley! And here on a Super Smiley Adventure, we explore adventures where animals lead. They can be journeys for animal advocacy, for adventure and fun, and they almost always lead to paths of inner discovery and greater bonding with our pets. And today we are keeping with the superhero theme. Halloween is coming up, and I know everyone listening to this show has seen the way cute and extremely creative costumes now available for your pets. And so your dog can fully participate in the festivities, our guest today is the national media voice for Wonder Costumes. He's been featured on ABC News, TMZ, the New York Post, and all over talking about pet costumes. From Spider-Man to Superman to Batman to Wonder Woman, all the superheroes you can imagine, and the cute funny ones like Elvis. Our guest, Chris Yandek, can deliver. And we're going to do a costume giveaway to one of our listeners too and talk about Halloween pet tips as you walk the night with your pet. So Super Smiley and I want to wish you a happy Halloween to everyone and to our guest, Chris Yandek. Welcome, Chris.
Hey, it's great to be with you guys. How are you today?
Everything is going really, really well. So first, even for people who don't normally dress their pets, they often will buy Halloween costumes for them. And I know this because I'm in that category with Angel and Smiley. I only get them weather gear or I go full out with real costumes. So talk about how this truly is a cultural phenomenon.
You know what's interesting? I think it really came to a cultural phenomenon, when we had Legally Blonde with Reese Witherspoon. And she dressed her little dog, actually. And then that's when it really started picking up, the chihuahuas and the little costumes. And since then, I think the dog costume craze has moved on. And now you're right, absolutely. You can see every kind of different variety of costumes on our website, wondercostumes.com, in our pet and accessories category, I believe it is. And we definitely have something for everybody in the dog and pet category.
And you absolutely do. I can definitely attest to that. And you said your company is Wonder Pets. I love the name. I just named some of your costumes above. You all are really, really big. Tell us about Wonder Costumes. You have the real superheroes right there in your line, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of different varieties of superhero costumes for pets, whether it be the Batmans, the Supermans. We also have, of course, what a real new popular thing this year is obviously with the summer movie out, the Ninja Turtles. We have all 4 different Ninja Turtle costumes for Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello. And we have all sizes for all pets, small, medium, large, and extra large. So if you've got a small dog, they can dress up as Michelangelo. If you've got an extra large dog, he can dress up as Leonardo. And these costumes actually come from the great manufacturer Ruby's, which is one of our big costume categories. But yeah, if you want to, that's the new thing and the new popular thing this year for pets is those Ninja Turtle costumes, which again you can see on wondercostumes.com in our pets section. You're absolutely right in that regard. But yeah, we also have the standard Batman and Superman and stuff like that also.
Yeah, I like the way you say that. We got the standard superheroes, It's so cute. And Chris, I can't wait to hear more. We're going to take a very quick break. And when we come back, we're going to tell all of our listeners how they can win a costume for their best friend. How cool is that? Super Smiley is superhero smiling right now. Smiley, can you wait? Good boy.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
I'm Smiley the dog. I'm Super Smiley. Let's rock!
Pet Life Radio, the #1 pet radio network on the planet, joins forces with iHeartRadio to put the power of your pets in your pocket.
Awesome.
Download the iHeartRadio app and rock Pet Life Radio on your phone, on your tablet, on your Xbox, in your car. Pet talk, pet tunes, and fun pet times. Pet Life Radio and iHeartRadio. Positively Possum.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
And we're back on a Super Smiley Adventure with Chris Yandek, the national media voice for Wonder Costumes. Hey, Chris, welcome back.
Great to be back with you guys. This is really fun. We really have never done, by the way, a pet costume segment exclusively, so this is a real great first for us today.
And it's a natural. Absolutely, you should be doing that. I'm really excited to be your first one then. Chris, I'm looking through your costumes here, and this is so much fun. The listeners, we're looking through the costumes. You've got superheroes, but cute ones too, like you've got the ladybug, the flapper dress with the fringe, you have an angel, a sailor girl dress, crayon dogs. How many costumes do you have there? I couldn't begin to count. How many are on their site?
We have an inventory of over 100 different pet costumes that range in all different areas. You know, it's really interesting. I'll break down some of the categories for us just to assist with you. You know, here's the thing I have for you, Megan. Do you know anybody who's got a pet who would ever dress their dog up as food?
I don't personally, but you know, I've seen them out there. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm just really curious about that. You know, I don't know why you would dress your dog up as a banana or ketchup and mustard or a Tootsie Roll or bacon or a hot dog, but we have all those variety of costumes for your different variety of pets, for example, you know. So we have the food costumes, everything from fruit to candy and condiments and everything in between. If you want to dress your dog up, there's someone out there who does. But what I do want to tell you about the overview of our pet section is that our costumes range anywhere from $5 up to $30, depending on what your budget is. So we really do have something for everybody. You know, we, of course, our major thing is catering to adults and children and things like that, but we also have the pet categories we're talking about today. But we really do have something for everybody. And beyond Halloween, we also have the holiday costumes where you can actually dress up your dog as either the Santa or elf as well.
Yes, I saw all that. And I love that you mentioned that you have human costumes because everybody can coordinate with their dog for the big night, right? I mean, that's really fun sometimes, like you have a theme going with your pack, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know, and if any of your listeners have any question, they can call us at 305-COSTUME, and we'll be happy to go over with you on the phone, coordinating what costumes that we have could go with your pet as well. So if you have an idea what you want as an adult, then we can go right over to the pet section. We can coordinate. But yeah, absolutely. You know, I think it obviously has become a new trend over the last 5 to 10 years that adults are dressing up or children are dressing up to match their pets, and I think it's something really new and unique, obviously, going back to Legally Blonde, and then it has just really sparked a national interest ever since. But you're absolutely right. You know, to color code and match your canine, come to wondercostumes.com, look at our pet section. We'll be happy to assist you.
I love that. You mentioned the Ninja Turtles earlier. I can see all the Ninja Turtles, like the whole family, the adults, the kids, the dogs, walking down the street. That's a photo op, right?
Yeah, I mean, and also, you know, we also have like pop star costumes. I mean, if someone wants to dress up this year as Lady Gaga, we actually have a Lady Dogga costume from the manufacturer, California Costumes, that a person can dress up as well.
Oh, that's fun. Like I said, there were so many. I really looked through your site, but I missed that one. I'm going to go check out Lady Gaga. That sounds really, really cute. And there are just so many costumes here. I want everyone to really understand this. And Chris, you have a dog, right? Tell us about your dog.
I actually do have a dog that's like a half chow mix that kind of looks like a wolf. I can't think of what. I think the other half is an Akita, if I'm not mistaken. But she's never dressed up. She probably never will dress up.
Oh, I was going to ask what she's going to be.
But she, you know, the reality is that she probably never will dress up. It'd be more likely that I'd be able to probably put something on the cat, though he doesn't really like dressing up either. But I have to tell you, you know, if you took the cat to the vet, he's the most well-behaved animal that you ever have. He lets the vet do what they need to do. He doesn't claw. He's just the most well-behaved tuxedo cat you'd ever meet in your entire life, actually.
Oh, I love that. What's your tuxedo kitty's name?
We have different names for him. I call him Cat Boy in reference to Bat Boy, but his original name is Buzz. But he is just the most, like, if you call him to follow you like a dog, he'll follow you. You know, that's the kind of cat.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned the cats, too, because like you said, cats aren't necessarily as cooperative in costumes, but I had a cat one time, Priscilla, and she was a big, docile kitty, and she loved people, and she was a black cat, and she would always come out at Halloween. Of course, we had her right with us, never lose, especially black cats on Halloween, but she would sit with us by the pumpkin and be our little kitty cat witch. So, yeah, we don't want to forget the cats. And, of course, Super Smiley goes as Super Smiley. And Angel, my giant German Shepherd, she has a beautiful pink princess dress, which is so feminine, has layers of tulle, like a ballet costume. But it's so funny to see this giant German Shepherd in this costume. But Angel and Smiley, I can tell you, they love dressing up. And let's see. Oh, Chris, do you have any tips for people acclimating their dogs to wearing costumes?
You mean like suggesting what they should wear or how they should get them to wear it? What are you specifically asking?
Yeah, like nobody would want to just throw a costume on their dog and take him out for Halloween. So, for example, Smiley and I do a blog for Sergeant's Health Care Central, Sergeant's Pet Health Central. Yeah. Oh, thank you. It's really, really cool. We love Sergeants. And this month, of course, we're talking about pet costumes, and everybody can keep up with our blog by going to blog.sergeants.com, and we also post them on our Facebook at Megan Blake and on Super Smiley's page at Super Smiley. So Smiley has a few tips there. He writes half the blog and I do the other half. So in his Sergeant's blog this month, one of them, he writes, Super Smiley here. I love parties and Halloween is a big party, but I've learned a thing or two about dog parties with people and cats that might make it even better. And here we go. He says, costumes. Be sure they are comfortable and not binding. Let your dog wear it ahead of time to test out how it moves with him. Let him play fetch and run around in it like a dog. This way he'll feel perfectly at ease and you can really test out the fit. And Chris, it's pretty easy to find the right fit for your dog from your site, right? How do people do that?
Yeah, what you do is you just click on every single different dog costume in the pets category. There's different sizes, and below that, in the product description, we have the different, like the waist, the inches, and the length, so people can figure out what kind of size. They can measure their dog in advance, basically, and then they can match it up with ours to figure out what size they would buy for their pet. Absolutely. Their dog, absolutely.
That's so great. I love that you actually have the inches where they can measure their girth and their length. That is so specific, Chris. This is really, really cool. And again, I want to emphasize when Smiley first started wearing his Super Smiley costume and Angel was with him in her princess dress, in our philosophy, we think it's really important that the dogs know that they're dogs and they can still run around. So a real easy way to do that is put on their costume and then get them out in the yard and play fetch with them. And in about 2 seconds, they will know that the costume is all about fun and they'll be totally cool with it. And then another one of Super Smiley's tips on the blog, he writes, be sure the costume doesn't block their vision. Some costumes have way cool headpieces or hoodies that can block them. And sometimes, this is Smiley talking, sometimes this can make us doggies fearful, which could lead to fear aggression, and we don't want that. So just make sure everything's fitting right. And Chris, I'll bet you've probably seen most of the costumes on dogs. Have you actually seen them modeled by dogs before? Most of them?
I've seen a few, actually, to tell you the truth, in some of these organizational projects that we've worked with. I've seen some pictures of some of the costumes, and the reality is I really like the ones where there's different ones where you just kind of like, how can I say this? You just like put it over the head. They're like what I like to call the hoodie dog costume. Like we have ones with monsters, for example. All you have to do literally is put it over the head. There's nothing else to do. Those are really simple ones, I think. It's easier to put on the costume. But some of the other ones are just like capes, you know what I mean? You just kind of wrap it around your dog with a little Velcro or whatever, and it goes right on there. And, at wondercostumes.com. I say this for the adults, but also for the pets and the dogs. We literally have something for everybody.
And I love that. You do. And I love that you have different types. Like some go on like an entire coat or sweater. Some are just hats. Some are just, Velcroed. That reminds me of another tip that Smiley didn't mention this one. This was one of my tips in the blog. The heat. If you have a costume that fully wraps your dog, especially the ones with the padding, like some of the monster costumes, our advice is to only use that one if it's cool outside so the dog doesn't overheat. But on the flip side of that, it could be a perfect one to use as a sweater if the night is cold, right? It could serve two purposes, right, Chris?
There's no denying that in that regard. Obviously costumes that have more warmth and more fabric and material are very good to keep your pets warm as well. There's no denying that. I do want to tell you, before we move along here, the story about the company WonderCostumes.com. I was telling you this yesterday, actually, off the air before we did the segment. One of the owners saw a dog costume, and he didn't realize there were costumes for dogs, and that was why they decided to have a costume store, even though the majority of the inventory is adult and child. That's the reason they started to have a costume thing. They couldn't believe that there were costumes for dogs, and 10 years later, WonderCostumes.com is one of the national leaders. We ship costumes across the country and across the entire world. As far as Australia, for example, we have sent costumes. So, visit us at WonderCostumes.com, figure out what you want for your adult, then head over to the pet section and get the costume for the pet, and it's a one-stop shop for everyone.
I love it. It's perfect. And I love that story because that's what you call being on the front end of a trend. Wow, what a good business decision that was, right? I love it.
It definitely was. It definitely was for them, no doubt.
Right. Oh, and Chris, we mentioned that we have a giveaway on the show today. Yay. When we get back from our break, we're going to tell everyone how to register to win a costume. What fun is this? Super Smiley, can you wait? Good boy.
Sit, stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
I'm Smiley the dog. I'm Super Smiley. Let's rock!
Hi, this is Tim Link, animal communicator and pet expert and host of Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. Have you ever wanted to know what your pet is really thinking? Do you want to find out if they truly understand what you're trying to tell them? Ever wish you could build a better understanding and closer relationship with your pet? Well, now you can. Learning to communicate with animals is a 4-part on-demand workshop. In the workshop, you'll learn the essential techniques that are necessary to communicate with animals, including what is animal communication, breathing correctly to achieve the perfect state to communicate with your animals at a deeper level, using guided meditation exercises and method to communicate with animals, and how to send and receive information from your animals. So if you're wanting to learn how to communicate and connect with your animals at a deeper level, visit PetLifeRadio.com/workshop and purchase and download Learning to Communicate with Animals. You'll be glad you did.
Hi, this is Jody Miller-Young from Bark and Swagger. Tune in for everything pet fashion and more. From fashion tips and runway trends, products and designs I love, to fabulous home decor for your furry friend, you'll find it all here. Be the first to discover the new. So what are you waiting for? Find me on Pet Life Radio. And remember, when fierce fashion calls, Bark and Swagger.
Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, this is Emmanuelle Berger from Lost Girl, and I am on a Super Smiley Adventure.
And we're back on a Super Smiley Adventure with Chris Yandek, the national voice of Wonder Costumes. Chris, tell us again how people can get to your web pages with the dog costumes. How do they get there?
You go to wondercostumes.com. The top of the page, you'll see all the categories, men, women, themes, and then you'll see the pets category at the top, and then once you hit that, then you'll be directed and they'll tell you to select the pet section. It's right there at the top, but it's very self-explanatory. Anybody can find it. It's right there at the top and on the categories when you go to the front page of wondercostumes.com, and if for whatever reason any of your listeners are having trouble finding it, call us at 305-COSTUME. We'll be happy to navigate you over there.
I love that. Phone number 2, yay. Sometimes it's hard to get a human on the phone nowadays, so that's real customer service. I love it.
We pride ourselves on that more than you can ever imagine.
We love that. When I looked through, it looked like there were hundreds of costumes. That's what it looked like to my eyes, just a sea of costumes. So how many costumes, dog costumes, do you have on there? Like, there's a lot, right?
We have a little more than 100, actually.
Wow.
You know, they're very random and hard to find, I guess you could say, in that regard. But anytime anyone's looking for a pet costume, they actually do come to our store. Besides doing the orders online, we actually have a storefront also where people come in and they buy the stuff also here in Miami, Florida. So no doubt about it, people come in every day looking for dog costumes.
I love that. So what's the name of your store in Miami? Tell us if people are in the area where they can go visit.
It's Wonder Costumes, just like the website, without the .com. It's in Miami, Florida, and if anybody wants to come visit us or get directions, they can either go to the website, wondercostumes.com, or call us at 305-COSTUME. We have someone who can give you directions.
I love that. Smiley and I were just in Florida, and if we had known that, we would have come down and done some trick-or-treating with you all. But maybe next year we'll do that. And so if our listeners can keep listening, and if you're not driving, of course, go to the web pages now because they are so cute, and we're going to give away a costume, and we thought it would make it simple and fun to do it on Facebook. So go to Facebook and like our Pet Life Radio page and Super Smiley's page. It's Super Smiley, that's the one with his picture on it in the superhero costume. Then on the Pet Life Radio page and on the Super Smiley page, post a photo of your dog or your cat. Cats are eligible too. And tell us why they are your superhero. Now that's the easy part because I believe that all of our pets are superheroes. They have superpowers to make us smile, make us feel like the world is wonderful just by looking in their eyes. So you you all have the easy part. The hard part is going to be judging because we only have one costume to give away. So, Chris, tell us what costume it's going to be. They're going to have a little bit of a choice, right? Tell us what they're going to.
Depending on, well, I know that we've opened the category up to small, medium, and large dogs. Whatever size dog wins. There'll be a few choices of what they can choose from, but, again, we'll have to wait and see what the inventory is after the contest is decided, but there'll be a variety of choices to choose from, definitely speaking, after we figure out what size dog we have, because depending on the size of the inventory, it's going to be different, obviously, depending on the size of the dog.
That is so cool. Okay, so everybody go to Facebook and like Pet Life Radio and like Super Smiley and start posting. But you know what? On pages, you have to post as comments because sometimes with pages, people can't directly do a whole post. So we're going to put a Halloween costume post up there, and you can post your photo and entry as a comment. That is super awesome. And so also go to the Wonder Costumes pet page and start checking that out. So Chris, your business is costumes, but during this time of year, Halloween is kind of like your business too. So do you have any, I want to talk about some Halloween tips for your pet, safety tips. Do you have any special safety tips that you do with your animals or any tips for people?
My tip always has been, on a crazy night like Halloween, if you're not going to take your pets out, make sure they're inside and that they're inside the house, because you don't know who's going to come to your house looking for candy. Putting them out in the yard could create a crazy situation. You just don't know. People open the gate, the pet gets out, there you go. That's one. If you're taking your pet out, though, on Halloween, my best advice always is to be careful around children. As you know, things can happen, and cats and dogs don't always like young kids or other people they don't know, so just be careful to keep your pet at arm's length away from varieties of other people and strangers, because there's no reason that people should cause any headaches on Halloween.
I love both those tips. They're fantastic, and they're basically about protecting your pets because we are our animals' guardians, and that's what our main job is. And some of the dogs, you mentioned keeping the ones who are maybe fearful or maybe aggressive in the home locked up. But for dogs who love to greet the guests, because I know a lot of people have these really friendly dogs who like to help with trick-or-treaters, I suggest keeping them on a leash with you at all times or with an assigned caretaker right there in your house. And it's really easily done. You can just keep your arm through their leash loop and let them follow you around. And this way, they won't door dart. You can monitor the kids coming up to them, like you said, Chris. And also, you can make sure that they don't eat any chocolate or the candy, because some of this candy can be deadly. Raisins are deadly for dogs. Chocolate is poisonous. So also, if you see your dog panting extra heavily, salivating, just looking like he's off, of course, if he starts to have a seizure or shaking, take him to the vet immediately, because you want to make sure that they are taken care of right away. And you mentioned don't leave your dog outside, Chris. That was really, really important. And because
dog or cat,
dog
or cat or anything else.
Absolutely, because unfortunately there are increased cases of animal cruelty around Halloween. That's just a fact, and a lot of, especially cats, we always suggest...
They like to shave cats. They like to shave the black cats more or less than anything else. That's really what they really like to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Terrible.
So we recommend that outdoor cats are kept inside for an entire week before Halloween, and many shelters won't even adopt out cats, especially black cats, the entire month of October. So those are really, really good tips. And here's another one, that the fear imprint stage. This is the stage between 11 and 12 weeks of age, and is a phase that's handed down from the dog's ancestors, like the wolves. When the wild puppies emerge from their dens for the first few times, if they're frightened by something like a bear, this is imprinted in their minds forever and helps them survive. But what happens if we have a young puppy that's going to be in our family and he's between 8 and 11 weeks of age and he's frightened by something, that could imprint on him and he could be afraid of that forever. Even something like somebody in a big hat or a man with a beard or anything like that. So if you have a dog between 8 and 11 weeks, we recommend that they don't go out for their first trick or treat, that you wait till next year when they're all, when they're all socialized and they're all confident and everything. These are good tips. Can you think of any more, Chris? We've thought of a bunch of them. Got anything else?
I didn't know about the whole black cat thing not being donated through the entire month of October or adopted.
Yeah.
That's a really good thing right there. Yeah, I just say, make sure you keep your pets away from young kids and things like that, because you don't need lawsuits or headaches on Halloween. That's really my big emphasis, and obviously keeping your pets inside. Those, I think, are the major ones in that regard. And also, another one might be able to figure out if your dog is allergic to anything, because some of the costumes have certain kinds of material that could make your dog allergic to them or be sensitive or whatever.
That's a really good idea. And that comes into the category of trying the costume on, letting them run around, and just making sure everything's cool, which it should be. But it's always good to double check, like with your children, you would probably put the costume on your kids and let them see if it fits right, before, make sure they can breathe. It's little things like that. Exactly. And Smiley had another tip. He says, we love Halloween decorations, but be careful to keep electric wires out of your dog's reach, especially true if you have a puppy, and make sure open flames are where dogs and cats can't turn over a candle or catch on fire. I mentioned my big cat Priscilla one time. She walked by a Halloween candle that was way up on a table, and she had long fluffy hair, and her beautiful tail caught on fire. It was just like a little flame, but it was like crazy, like, Priscilla's on fire, but then it went out immediately. But we learned our lesson, so everybody don't let your animals, keep them away from open flames. And we've got one more. Be sure to have your name tags with phone numbers on your cats and dogs, and make sure that they are microchipped, that's all up to date. So if they do get lost, you can get them back. Great tips, Chris, and Super Smiley. And we love your hero Halloween costumes. Chris, what are you going to do Halloween night? What are you doing?
What am I doing Halloween night? At this point in time, we'll probably be working here till the late hours at Wonder Costumes here in Miami, as people will literally be coming in for their last-minute costumes. People, unfortunately, wait till the last minute, and that's probably what it's going to be in that regard. I got another life outside of this company, so I got a lot of other things always going on, but they do a lot of good stuff. The story be told is that done a lot of media projects over my life, and, I'm proud to be a media spokesperson for this company. We were just in Las Vegas last month. I was in Orlando last week, and we've been selling all the major costumes, very quickly for adults. I mean, if any of your mothers or fathers are looking for Elsa or Anna from the movie Frozen, we still have all those kids' costumes. If women want to be Angelina Jolie from the movie Maleficent, we have those costumes. Again, Ninja Turtles, Guardians of the Galaxy, and literally any other costume category that you're looking for. If you're looking for the costumes for adults, go to wondercostumes.com. We'll be happy to assist you. Call us at 305-COSTUME. We'll be happy to assist you. Look at the pet category. We'll be happy to assist you. And that's really what it is in that regard. I don't think I've dressed up for Halloween in a good 15 years, but I'll be working last minute talking about this great company as we move into November, December, and the rest of the year as we prepare. We're a yearly costume company. We're open, 12 months out of the year, but we literally spend 10 months preparing for these 2 months that we're currently going through right now.
Yeah, I can see that. And on the Halloween costumes, everybody check it out, because I did see the elf costume. I saw the Santa costume. So they're all there. You don't have to wait to be preparing for the entire holiday season. You can go check that out now. And Chris, you did such a great job of giving your website. And everybody post photo comments on Facebook on the pages for Pet Life Radio and Super Smiley. And we're going to award a costume to the winner. And what I thought would be fun too is maybe have a couple of those entries on a Pet Life Radio show. So make your entries really great as to why your dog is your superhero. And you know what? We'll have some listeners on a show. We'll do a superhero show. I think that'd be so much fun. And today, a great big thank you to Wonder Costumes and to Chris Yandek. Thank you for joining us, Chris.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure. Not a problem whatsoever.
And from all of us here on Pet Life Radio, on a Super Smiley Adventure, we hope you enjoy your Halloween adventures with your pets. And until next time, woof and super smiles.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.